$1.20 an ounce. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index is up 0.1%. The euro 1.0374 against the dollar. British pound 1.2444. The yen 153.60. And Bitcoin down 0.3% at $96,000. That's a Bloomberg Business Flash. Now here's Michael Barr with more on what's going on around the world. Michael.
Thank you very much, Karen. Mark Fogel, an American teacher who was deemed wrongfully detained by Russia, has been released and returned to the U.S. Fogel was brought to the White House where President Donald Trump greeted him.
President Trump is a hero. These men that came from the diplomatic service are heroes.
Mark Fogel was sentenced to 14
Good morning,
years
ladies and gentlemen.
Colony for carrying a small amount of medically prescribed marijuana when he was arrested at the Moscow airport.
It is Wednesday, February 12th.
Elon Musk appeared in the Oval Office to defend the Trump administration's
This beneficiary of USAID.
federal workforce. The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, continues to make more moves even as past actions are held up.
This guy got a
court.
college education at Colorado State University.
At his side in the Oval Office says
And
the
then,
US is going to take Gaza. Trump has already said the Palestinians will have to
joined
leave,
Al-Qaeda
and Egypt will take
and was killed by an airstrike in Yemen.
The rest of the Arab world say that will not happen.
So your tax dollars hard at work.
Global news 24 hours a day and whenever you want it with Bloomberg News Now.
At least that's the narrative they're trying to sell us, guys.
Michael, thank you. It is 5:24 on Wall Street. We turn from news and sports to the weather because we've got quite a lot of it
So,
along the East Coast in the last
always
24
take these
hours. May be on the way.
news reports
I
with a
say
grain
may,
of salt. You know,
because I'm not a meteorologist, so let's bring in someone who is. Bloomberg meteorologist Craig Allen with us to talk about this.
you always highlight the worst of everything.
There is May. You are a good meteorologist. You've already got it. Really. It's on the way. There's more snow, but it depends on where you are. Some places are going to end up with more rain out of this, and some other places are going to have some snow for the inland areas and the higher elevations. I do want to recap, though, first.
Yes, please.
In New York City, we have seen the snow come to an end, and we picked up about anywhere from a half inch to an inch and a half. There were some spots across the Jersey Shore south of Interstate 78 and out across Long Island that got about
Hey, Chad, good morning.
The plows are out, the sanders, the salters. The roads should get in better shape as the sun comes up later on this morning. Now, if you go farther south than that, down towards southern sections of New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, as well as the D.C. area for sure, D.C. picked up 5.9, in other words, almost 6 inches, about a half a foot of snow. And it's an interesting note in that so far the total for D.C. is more than what we've had here in the New York City area. They've had 14.3 inches of snow so far this season. It is tough getting around Washington, but I can say
This was bizarre yesterday, guys. It turned out.
In D.C. now, most of this city.
Sorry about that. Did you guys see this Musk Trump conference yesterday? It was going on yesterday afternoon. I was at the gym and I was finishing up my workout with a 20-minute bicycle ride, and I think it was Fox News was right in front of me. You know, they got the TVs hanging overhead. And this was going on, and this Musk is going on, and I'm like thinking, this is fucking bizarre as hell. This autistic MFer standing there. I mean, it looks like a skit out of Saturday Night Live, don't it? I guess that's his kid there, the little boy. And old Trump sitting there. Elon. It was weird. I got a weird vibe looking at that. I didn't have the sound on, you know, but I was just watching this guy's like, he's not all there, this Musk guy. There's something off with this MFer. Hunter, good morning. Well, you can ask away, sir. We're just here to chit-chat, have morning coffee, talk about whatever. You know, you got some idea. Okay.
Bush slash the federal workforce, but now we have a look at today's Bloomberg weather forecast.
Well, Hunter, if what you say is true, then the internet is forever. So, see what Hunter wrote here, guys. He's a twink, a femboy. He's trying to become mayor of his town, and he asked if he said nobody takes him seriously. Do I have any advice for him? Should he take his OnlyFans down for the time being? Well, the OnlyFans is up there, man. People are gonna see it already, so you can't hide it. I always tell people to be themselves. If that's what you are, then that be yourself. Don't be fake. Don't be fake with anybody. Show yourself. If they don't want that, then they don't want that. You don't want to be fake for anybody. Don't be a phony. Be yourself. You want to be taken seriously, then do something serious. Join some town council or something, zoning board, things like that. Start off, on that kind of level, and then show that you're competent doing what that entails. You can't just jump in and be the mayor. That it usually doesn't work that way. But I wish you luck. Yeah. Good morning, Golden Girl. How are you? Elon has mild ADHD or autism. Yeah, I think so. Definitely he has something off. I think he has like a very high functioning autism or something. Maybe a high IQ. He's able to work, these long hours like Trump does. Trump's the same way, not on the autism level, but on the work level. He just doesn't stop. He puts his nose to the grindstone and gets busy with whatever he's doing. And so that has gotten him to be the president of the United States. That and his handlers. So Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's testifying today. Going to try to catch that. Usually start these meetings in the afternoon, like at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock's my lunchtime. So if it's on then, I'll put it on C-SPAN or something. I'll watch it. Gavin James. Elon runs about $6 billion companies, allowing him a little latitude. No doubt. He is an exceptional person. I don't doubt that one bit. You look at a guy like Bazos, and when you see him when he started out, he had that desk in some rented space with a cardboard Amazon written on a cardboard or something, and that's how he started out. And now, 25 years later, Amazon, I think, has 5 or 6 business segments that each generate over $20 billion of revenue every year. And that's freaking incredible. But the Bazos that the news shows you is the guy with the women, I mean, he's not a handsome guy. He's bald. He's I think he's short. I mean, I see a lot of these women he's with, they're taller than him. But the women make exceptions for guys like that have assets. They always do. They don't care that he's short, or that he's bald, or that he looks like a nerd, or that he is a nerd. He funds a lavish lifestyle for these women. It's difficult for men like that to find a stable relationship, just because there's so many women throwing themselves at them. Like baseball players, same thing. As soon as they're in the minor leagues, they got these broads all over them. I would go to minor league games around here, and tickets are cheap. You could get a $15 ticket front row behind the dugout, and you see these chicks. They're throwing they got their thirst trap, boobs hanging out, and all these young guys, they're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, man. They're like they're in heaven. These fucking women throwing themselves at them. And some of them make it, a small percentage of these guys make it to the big leagues and the big money. But most of them don't, and you wonder if these women stick around with the guys that don't make it to the show, and that end up being high school coaches or whatever. Can't believe what Connecticut voted in. Tong is fighting and suing Trump to keep men. It's insane that this guy Tong. I mean, I don't know how this guy gets voted in. Talk about the Attorney General in the state of Connecticut. Just he's probably the furthest left politician in the state, even more so than the governor. This guy Tong. He has his aspirations on the governorship, or maybe even something beyond that, maybe senator. That's how Blumenthal got to be a senator. Blumenthal was the Attorney General. And so, but Blumenthal's getting long in the tooth. He's in his 70s now. But the thing is, once these guys are in the senators or representatives, it's very tough to dislodge them. Because they do bring the bacon, They bring the money in from the government back here. And they do, they do that in every state. And so, they take their 10% cut or whatever they take. They take their grift and they're entrenched. Chad Bailey, I'm decent looking. I get no women, maybe in another life. Well, Chad, I'm nothing to write home about. And I recently met a beautiful woman. So don't give up, bro. I'm just a normal dude, I'm 30 pounds overweight. I'm 60 years old. Bad shit. Kohunizi, how are you? Connecticut has Lamont, Blumenthal, Tong, Rosa, Murphy, Courtney. My God. Do we not stop voting for losers? Take back Connecticut. Chad, the people that vote, the Republican, the state Republican Party is not very powerful here. If you look at national politics and you see the Democratic National Party in disarray, on a smaller scale, it's kind of like that here in Connecticut with the Republican Party. they've never really put forward any serious opposition since what's his name? That governor that got Roland. Roland, put together a good campaign, but then he got caught up in the corruption and shit, and got booted out. His lieutenant Jody Rill served as governor, a Republican governor. I think she was the last Republican governor. She's had a whole string of Democrats ever since then. The big three cities vote for them, but also the Gold Coast votes for these people. They really do. They vote for them. I think a lot of the wealth, the Fairfield County, along the shoreline, they're all Democrats. And probably because they all have some irons in the fire. They're getting some of this grift back. Good morning, Ray. How are you, my friend? We're just having morning coffee here for a few minutes. I mentioned seeing the goofy Elon Musk. And I see younger guys, especially. They get caught up in this cult of personality. They call Musk by his first name, Elon. Elon did this or Elon did that. You don't know the man. You never met him. You're calling him by his first name, like you know him as an acquaintance. He's not your acquaintance, guy. Be careful of that cult of personality. Trump certainly has that. I think to a lesser degree. I don't find many people calling him Donald. They all call him Trump. I don't know if that's because he's older or whatever, but add any new coins to the collection? No. I stopped buying coins at the end of the year, Ray. Just because I'm hyper focusing on my retirement, and I'm saving, I'm stacking cash. The money that I would have spent on coins, which was probably averaging about $1,000, $1,500 a month, I'm stacking as cash, extra cash. I'm paying off my last loan ahead of time, my car loan here. I expect to have this car paid off around September, October, and I'm retiring in February. And so next February. So I want to retire. I want to have a pile of cash where I could start, full bore on my real estate side hustle. I've been doing it part time for a couple years now, and had some success with it. But again, rental property that I had, I sold off. I think the real estate market is at the very top, and I didn't want to get caught in the retirement with holding properties that are requiring cash, insurance, property maintenance, all this kind of shit. Litigation with tenants. I don't want to deal with that shit. There's a high carrying cost with real estate, and that always needs to be a consideration when you're buying a foreclosure or you're bidding on a tax delinquent property. There's going to be a carrying cost. You're going to have to insure that property. You're going to have to pay the taxes on it. You have to clean it up, obviously. This message is held for review. Oh my goodness. Wow, Chad, they held your message. Look at last loser Biden, 50 years of doing nothing good. Yeah, I mean, that guy was in government for that long, just lining his own pockets. And that's what most of these people do, you know? That's what most of them do.
Ahead of that, let's bring in Sarah Hunt, Chief Market Strategist at Alpine Saxon.
See what they're saying here about
Sarah,
Powell.
how are you strategizing as we await the data and the commentary? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, it was held.
Chad. I think that, as has been pointed out by many people,
I think the keyword Biden is maybe
amount of uncertainty in markets at the moment
triggers the algorithm to hold the message.
And partially just because we went through a period where the view were.
It's odd. You didn't say anything bad.
It may look very
You
much
spoke the
like
truth.
some sort of a sustained pause here, but I think that there is plenty of news flow to drive things. It's just predicting that
So we got some.
is a bit tricky.
Yeah, to say the very least. Is it a pause or is the Fed done, do you think?
Well, there is some question about whether or not there will be another move at some point, right? So it's never done. It's just a directional question. And I think that right now there is some question as to whether or not we get enough inflation numbers and other issues that the next move could be instead of lower, higher. I think that is the bias is probably not to that direction, and that would indicate that we have a re-emergent inflation picture. And today we'll get some data.
Yeah.
There's some concern it may be a bit high.
So they're worried that the interest rates might go back up after dropping a little bit.
And in terms of where inflation could go.
Yeah, that's. I don't think they would do anything that radical. They would probably, over the next couple of periods, they would leave it alone where it is, not raise it, not lower it, kind of see where things shake out. Yeah, I had to okay the message, but I think somebody else got it, Chad. Chad, let me give you a mod here. So you've been cool here with this channel. I give mods to people that I know for a while and trust. You know, people come in here sometimes, you know, I don't know where the fuck he came from, and you know, give me a mod. I'm not giving you no mod, bro. I don't know who you are. Propaganda. Rhino. Listen, any news is propaganda, Rhino. Anything you read, anything you see or hear. I don't know. These two women got bit by sharks in the Bahamas. Having a girls' trip out there, guys. Yep. Ray. What's on the next record jam session? I don't know, Ray. I haven't done a record playing show in months. I think the last one I did was during the summer. I did a Jimmy Buffett Greatest Hits and a Beach Boys concert live. I think that was the last one I did. I have a ton of stuff I could play. I was doing a show called the Man Cave Vinyl Hour on Friday evenings. And it caught some traction. Not a lot, because I usually wasn't talking during the music. I put the camera on the record player and the music was playing. And so it didn't really get a lot of views. If it got 100 views, that over the course of an hour or so, that would be a lot. But I have a bunch of records that I've gotten since that time that I haven't played. Maybe I'll do one. I don't know. I'm expecting, I'm going to be busy this weekend, so probably not this weekend. No, I don't know who that is. Is that a YouTube channel? Eob. Yeah, but I'm not monetized, my friend. I don't know. I'm not monetized just because I don't do YouTube that frequently. And so I do it when I have a moment, like I have a half hour, 40 minutes before I go to work at 6 a.m. here. So I'll come online and I'll chit chat, have coffee, talk about whatever. But, there's only 13 people watching here, so there's not a lot of people here. And honestly, I don't know how much YouTube pays. Is it worthwhile? I mean, if you're retired or if you're disabled and you use it as a supplemental source of income, it may be worthwhile if you have a good audience. You can make a few extra $100 with maybe $1,000 a month, something like that. Then yeah, it's a good supplement. If you could get that kind of money, $1,000 a month for streaming for a few hours or whatever. But you got to remember, this is 1099 income, and you got to be filing those tax returns. A lot of these people that stream, not the big, huge streamers, but the smaller ones, they don't file any taxes. And it's just a matter of time before they pull the rug out on them and they start auditing these people, I think. Once Trump gets done with the big guys, the fat cats, he's going to turn Musk loose on these little people. I'll be in Connecticut in March sometime, Golden Girl says. Any sights I should see? Well, let's see. Golden Girl, depends on what part of Connecticut you're going. Are you going to any particular area of Connecticut? There's some real nice state parks. If you're in the New Haven area, walking around Yale University is nice. They've got the Museum of British Art there, things like that you could do. Winstead. Yeah, Winstead's kind of out of the way, Golden Girl. It's in the northwestern part of Connecticut. It's near, it's closest to Massachusetts. If you drive further down Route 44, you'll drive into New York State. But again, it's rural country where this is. There's not much there as far as things to see in Winstead. I suppose you could try one of the breweries there. There's like a brewery and live music, things like that, small scale stuff. Norfolk is down the road a bit, and they have a music venue there in Norfolk. Norfolk Music Hall or something, or Infinity Music Hall, or whatever they call it. Norfolk, Connecticut. Check that out during the time you're in Connecticut, because they may have some big name come and play. They have some name acts booked in there as springtime rolls around. So that might be something you could do. If I was telling somebody that's going to stay for a week or so, I'd say check out the Norfolk music venue and see if there's anything of interest to you there. That's the closest thing that you could probably do. Or you could drive north into Great Barrington's a nice city, nice Massachusetts town. Or you could even drive a little further down route. You get to Route 7. And Route 7's a north-south road. You could take Route 7 all the way up into Vermont. And there's some nice scenery along the way there on Route 7 in Massachusetts and in Vermont. You know, some very, very nice towns. Bennington, Vermont is like the first town you'll see in Massachusetts. That's a nice little town to walk around in. Little shops, you know, things like that. You know, little places to eat. You know, if you could do that, go up to Bennington, Vermont. Golden Girl. Yeah. So another boring chat here on the Random Guy podcast. We didn't really talk about anything specific, guys. Just another day, another coffee with you folks. And I thank you for stopping by and being my coffee friends here this morning. And you know, we'll keep an eye on the news. We'll keep an eye on the weather. I didn't have any snow on the ground up where I live, and I drove south about 20 miles or so to get here to where I work, and there is a coating of snow here. So it looks like the snow that was in Connecticut last night was on the southern part of the state. Chad says, I love New Hampshire. My wife's sister lives in Gorham, in the middle of the White Mountains. Yeah, the White Mountains are beautiful. Yeah, I think Vermont or New Hampshire would be much more interesting for you, Golden Girl. Either drive up Route 7 or go up Route 7 till you get to Bennington, and you could take a right onto Route 9. Well, you'll drive east, and you'll come across some nice little towns on Route 9 in Vermont until you reach Interstate 91 in Brattleboro, and then you just head down south back into Connecticut. It's like a nice little loop drive. Well, thank you, friends. Yeah, have a nice day. It's that time. I got to get headed to work. I'm in the office all day today, so I'm getting caught up on reports. I'm backed up on writing my reports, so I'm going to have to write, you know, condensed versions of these hearings I went to, going back to I think the last couple days of January. Even I haven't written up yet. I got to get these off my desk. New Hampshire's not so liberal. Yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for coming by and chatting with me. And everybody have a great day. Stay safe out there.